I'm going to explain how I learned how to connect the dots. But first of all, I want to explain how I got to this point in 2011, this milestone moment. So in 2000, I did exactly what Steve said. I had reached a point in 2000 where I looked back at my life, back to my childhood, at what was going on. And I was the youngest of 4 by 7 years, 4 siblings. I never really had a family connection. I never felt it. In grade 3, I developed reading problems. I was seeing double vision. I was seeing a word and missing letters in the middle. I was with 12% of the global population. And I learned how to hate reading in grade 3. As a way to cure, my teacher had me go up in front of the class 2 to 3 times a week and read from the Bible to my classmates. I was totally embarrassed. I learned to hate reading. I didn't want to read. It was so hard. It was such a concentration issue because of my eyes. When I was 9 years old, my parents put me in guitar lessons. I only took that for about 4 months because we didn't have internet back then. So reading text, the notes and the chords and the words, because of my eyes, I was struggling. So I couldn't last. I was getting fatigued. Going to high school, I did well in high school. I was chairman of many committees. I had lots of friends, but I had no best buddy. I had no girlfriend, but popular, but still kind of disconnected. I got married at 23, started a family. At that same time, I finished a baseball career because my dream had been to be a Major League Baseball player. I tried out for the Toronto Blue Jays. I've been scouted by many teams in the majors. I was one of the top pitchers in Canada. That was my dream. So yeah, baseball didn't work out. Let's get married, start a family, look for careers. Now I leapfrog 17 years to 2000, and I was in a nasty divorce. I had looked at all my jobs. I had had so many jobs I lost track of. And I'm looking at my life, and all I see is that I was very busy, but nothing permanent came out of that. Everything was a failure. So I checked myself into a hotel in Brampton with a bottle of sleeping pills and a bottle of rye, and I was not going to see the next day. So somehow I made it out of that. I found a way to stay alive. The next 11 years, I was busy rebuilding myself as a single man, single dad, and being a mother too, a lot of times, and building a career. I was a robot, just doing everything that I needed to do. There was no passion for me in it. That led me to 2011. And in 2011, I said again, we're not going to take this anymore. Okay, this is too much stress. I wasn't feeling like I was going to end my life, but I went into clinical depression. And I just had to do something. So I'm not going to take it anymore. I had that epiphany moment on the couch. I want to rock. Okay, how do I do that? So what I learned to do in 2011 is not to look at the failures anymore. And that's the only time that I'm going to use the word failure. I'm going to replace it with, Eleni, you mentioned it, a hole. Okay, failures are holes. Goals are great. Everybody's talking about goals these days. And you got to write down the goals. But to make this work with the Steve Jobs things, everything are dots, okay? When you try something new, it's a dot. So in 2011, I said to myself, okay, Craig, what do you want to do? Well, I want to be a public speaker. There's one dot. Get off of there. So I joined Toastmasters. Toastmasters led to another dot. That was finding MoMondays. That led to another dot. I'm a speaker for the Heart and Stroke Foundation. I'm a speaker for the Waterloo Region Suicide Prevention Council. I threw out another major dot in 2011. I want to be a performing musician. So I knew that I had to get better with guitar because I really did not do a good job when I was young. So let's take guitar lessons. Let's be retaught. I'm in my 50s and I'm going to go through this experience of being retaught. That led to performing solo at open mic sessions, which led to 1 week ago, my band, we played our second concert in Waterloo, 30 songs. I'm the lead singer, I'm the front man, I'm the lead guitarist. Another dot that I did to make this all possible in 2011 is go to the University of Waterloo and figure out what's happening with my eyes. They're experts at it, and they changed my life. They helped me learn how to focus with my eyes. Another dot was I wanted to be a writer. So I threw that out. I started off as a review writer for the then Velvet Rope Music magazine in Waterloo. I then started my first book, which was published years later by Lisa Browning here, my last editor and publisher, which led to more dots of being co-authors for 2 anthologies and starting my 4th book right now. So I threw out all these dots. Now, to understand how to process dots, you have to understand the difference between a look and a glance. That's really important right there. If you look at something, you will go there. It's like that hole. If you look at the depression, if you look at that failure, you get dragged into that hole. And that's what happened with me. I got dragged into these holes. So when I look back at my life in 2011, I saw all these dots that I had thrown out, even through life. So many dots, and a lot of them had become holes. But I had to learn to figure out which was a hole, look at every one of them, acknowledge it, process it, act upon it, and don't look at it anymore. Because when I went into depression, when I was suicidal, that's what I was doing. I was looking at that dot, which was actually a hole, and I was dragged into it. So I had to learn to glance, now look at the dots. Now, the funny thing with what I learned in life was you can't connect all the dots, but you can find a way to justify and be happy with where you are in life. And that's what I did in 2011. Actually, that's what I did in 2000. First of all, I looked at these dots. I went back, okay, yeah, I had this in my childhood, which led to this, which led to this, which led to this. I went here, oh, that became a hole, but you know what? I can find a little dot, I can pull that out, and I did. And where in 2000, I felt like I wanted to end my life, in 2011, no, you know what? That's part of the process. That's what I learned. And that's part of my life, and I'm okay with that. So I look at my life right now, and I can move forward. Because I'm happy with my life, I can now throw out these big dots and understand that it's never too late to learn how to connect dots. It's all how you look at things. And you can learn to be happy with your life. There is always crap that's there. But don't look at it. Quick glance, look where you want to go.